A very good afternoon to all the visitors and readers and viewers of Animation Express. We are streaming live on our Facebook pages. We are, on Twitter as well as YouTube. It's wonderful to have another session. In the first of our sessions of Animation Express's virtual video chat series, we had a conversation with Ashish Kulkarni, that eternal guru of almost everyone in the industry. They followed it up with a chat with Assemblage Entertainment's Mad Max, who gave us a lot of insights. Who said that actually the lockdown has meant a lot of business for him, and it's going to be so very good for him, which was a contrarian view. And hats off to the man for being able to swim against the tide and make money when everyone else is crying. Fantastically done. And then we had an indie game developer roundtable. Now it's been very enjoyable on our part to bring these interactions to you. We trust you had as much fun watching them as we had bringing them to you. Now, moving on to our next one, our guest for today. He needs not much of an introduction, but I'm going to anyway introduce him to you. He was once just a simple Bachelor of Commerce graduate from Mulund College of Commerce in Bombay. He went on to become a CG artist after doing commerce. I don't know what got into him. He'll tell us what got into him. Then he went on to join Prana Studios, and just about after 3 years or 2 years of working with Maya, he went on to Prana, where he stayed for a glorious 4 years and 1 month, as he says. Before moving on to become the technical director at Crayon Pictures, he had a rapid ascent, and he was there at Crayon Pictures, where he was working on Delhi Safari and a lot of other initiatives that they had announced before finally turning entrepreneur with a friend of his called Arpan Ganguly. Arpan Ganglani. Sorry, I'm sorry. Age is catching up with me. Being 57 is not that. Sometimes it works against you, and it did work against me just now. Before setting up Motion Film CGI Private Limited, most people, when they refer to film CGI, they drop the motion. I don't know why. That's something which we'll have to work around. He's also the technical director, the CEO and CFO, and also the co-founder and director of the company. So how are you today?
I'm not the technical director in Film CGI. It's somebody else. But yeah, I am the co-founder.
But you began as a technical director, right? Because that's what your CV
Initially, yes. Yeah, of course.
So great. How are we today? Thank you for correcting me. I love being corrected at the beginning of a conversation. It tends to show how the conversation is going to go. I'm going to be corrected throughout the conversation.
No. I think I just didn't want to take the credit.
Relax, you don't defend. It was meant to be a joke. Okay.
So I'm good. Thank you for a great introduction, Anil. I'm thankful to your team for inviting me. This is my first webinar, by the way. New way of doing things, as we all see nowadays. So happy to be on board, and let's get going.
I know. So one of my colleagues at the company said, "Where's your beard? What happened?"
Well, there is a story. The story is that I was going for my child's admissions, and my wife coaxed me into getting the beard off because it would, I don't know, for whatever reason, affect my child's admission process. So here I am without the beard.
Who shaved it? This was during the lockdown, or this was pre-lockdown?
No.
It must have been pre-lockdown, yeah.
Luckily, before.
Great, but sad. He got admission?
Yeah, he did.
But there's no school.
So it's effort worth it, actually. But now I'm planning to again grow it.
Yeah, but there's no school now.
Yes, that's the other part. As you know, that's yes, I agree with that. We have just been informed that school starts in September. So
all your efforts of shaving a beard have gone to waste.
No, they are not. He's gotten into a good school, so that's all good. We are doing some home education for him. I think so. Today's content that we have on the internet is all there, so it's good, all good.
Yeah, so it's all about children. You began by talking about your son, so we have, and it's something which you do very passionately. You produce animation for children. So tell me, how's the period of the lockdown been for you?
So
and for Film CGI as a company.
So, of course, like the whole world, we also are no different, and we have been affected by it. Our operations were all of a sudden shut down based on the lockdown. So it has been a challenging time, but at the same time, I think so. What me and Arpan, initially we discussed when the lockdown happened. And a month before that, we were in Kidscreen as well. I think so. The best part that happened was we started our work from home pipeline a bit earlier because
Okay.
there were some indications on that. And luckily, we have been able to resume our work in April itself. So far, we have around 60-70% of our team on work from home. So, yeah. So
Okay.
as of
So
now,
how?
we are working. We are operational entirely.
Okay. So how did that happen? Are you using Teradici? What are you using?
So thanks to, as I said, initially in the last week of Feb, we started building, basic codes, workflows around, understanding how the whole thing was going up. Unfortunately for us, did know that Europe was getting affected badly because we have some clients there, and I think so by the first week of March, our tech team already started coding. So basically, we have done 2-3 approaches. We have a remote connection, PCUIP, which normally a lot of studios are going and following, which is a remote connection over the computer. And so normally artists are connecting over remote connections like TeamViewer. We have a tool called No Machine, and we are using that extensively for us. That is one. Uh, we are also using now a proprietary pipeline, which we have coded ourselves, uh, which is again based on packages being delivered to our artists. Uh, it's we have put up a cloud server, and we have the data that is syncing to that from our film CGI facilities. Every artist has a login that is provided. Fortunately, we have a business account with Google. So what we have done is we have tied up with Google API for authentication system, and that's how an artist is able to access our data on his workstation. And the same way, it's submitted automatically on our data service. So that's the second pipeline we have. That means the data is physically going to the artist as well. It's encrypted. So again, we have kept that client security in mind, that no data should be going out of the studio. Whatever is going out is totally encrypted. If, for example, an artist does not have a login ID, that data is as good as junk for him. So that's the second part. And the third part is we are having means we have very few, 1 or 2 critical people who are still operating out of our office. That is IT. And that's about it. So the entire pipeline is basically on three parts as of now.
Great. And you said you had started of work from home before the entire lockdown started. Why was that?
As I said, I think so. What happened was obviously we were traveling to Kidscreen and we didn't see a lot of people. It was almost like 30%. Obviously, by that time, the news had already spread that the China was badly affected, and some of our European clients had already pre-informed us that they are canceling their trips based on this pandemic, which obviously scared us, to be very frank. And I think so. Going back, the first thing that I think so me and Arpan did was have a meeting with most of our tech people and tell them that, guys, we need to really think how we are going to work from home. And obviously when first nobody has thought about this, right? It is unheard of that a media entertainment or an animation VFX company can work from home. So obviously the team's reaction was as good as saying that, are you serious? Means work from home. And I said, yeah, I think so. There is a high possibility we will all have to shut down our offices for some time. So that's how we started actually in the last week of Feb and for around first week of March.
So how many seats do you have currently?
So we have 2 studios in Pune. One is a VFX facility which is there in Koregaon Park, and one in Mundwa. That is our original office. We have around approximately 180 people seating capacity over there, including both the studios.
Okay. And are they all still on your rolls, or have you had to put some on furlough and issue some pink slips?
So yeah, now the first thing I think so what we did was we definitely have kept a very important thing for us was artist safety, and we announced our work from home pretty early. As in, I think so before government even announced the lockdown, I think so a couple of days before that we had already shut down our offices. Uh, Keeping in mind that yes, the prime importance is that we all are safe. Uh, I'm sorry, I didn't get the second part of your
No,
question.
I talked about are all 180 people still employed with you, or have you had to issue some pink slips and furlough some people as well as cut
we we
people's
uh,
salary?
we have not issued any pink slip to anybody. We are entirely all the people are still with us. Unfortunately, yes, we have had to have certain pay cuts in April. But I would again, be entirely thanking my team for supporting this because this was done not by the management, but it was more driven by the artists. We all had a big meeting, Zoom meeting. So. Uh, with all our people mostly, and I think the most of them understood the gravity of this situation, and what the world is going through, what the country is going through, what industries are going through, and I think so they did tell us that we are okay as long as basics are taken care of, our houses are running, and that's what we did. So we didn't allow no layoffs, nothing as of now. Only some reductions in salaries. Yes.
So it's in the range of 20%, 30%.
It has been done keeping in mind as in the gap. We have bifurcated the entire pay cuts as per the slab you fit in. The higher the pay, the more salary cuts. But we are in the range of no pay cuts for I would say 40% of the people, and starting on gas it would be around 35 to 40% going upwards.
Okay, wow. I must thank your people. I mean, even Animation Express, like you, we shut down much before any lockdown indications came in from the government. The challenges that not many people envisaged that the gravity of the situation would reach such levels, and nobody believed. They thought it was going to be just a couple of weeks or something, and we'll be back to normal. That this is just the flu, etc. Like Donald Trump did, and today the man is, the president is kind of making a fool of himself before the world. I know I'm making a political statement, but it's all right. So, but it's okay. I think this is the world of animation and fun. So, you kept your people, you got some salary cuts in place. And what about your partners, your clients? Are they still, continuing with the work, or have they also had to stop their work, or how are you managing with that?
So, two sides, of course. We are VFX as well as animation. So, going with VFX, of course, if you see, the entire shoots have been stopped. So there is no more shooting happening. The effects of which are going to be seen now. I mean, of course, till now, fortunately, yes, all the clients have been supportive. VFX and animation. We have not had any clients who have, not understood. I think so. It's a world phenomenon. So they themselves are in the same situation that we are. So I think all of them have been supportive for us. But the effects of, so as far as animation goes, I think so. I don't see any disruption in that. The disruption would only be the capacity part. But in VFX, yes, I see that coming months are going to be a bit lull. We are going to have no VFX project starting very soon because the shootings have stopped. So the supply chain has entirely stopped as of now, because we are totally dependent on post-production facilities to provide us the raw materials for that, footages for that. So that's going to be seen now, I think so, July onwards.
Yeah, so in case you don't get any VFX work coming for the next 3 months, what's the challenge for you?
I think the challenge is going to be, of course, that as of now, what we have already
is it to keep you busy?
Yeah.
No, is it to keep your artists and creative people busy, or is it also the fact that they don't have work to do and they're feeling frustrated, and you still have to pay them because there's no work?
we've not seen that situation as of now. As
I'm
of
saying in
now,
VFX.
even in VFX, I think so post July, as I said, right now we have enough projects to complete till July.
Okay.
We have already seen that July se ye hone wala hai, so this is going to happen. What we are trying is we are trying to see if there are smaller projects available like ad films and those kind of things which are there for July, post July onwards. Till we see this going till October, November, that there is not going to be much around to work on till the production houses resume their shooting. So we are looking at that, and luckily for us, some of our people have come from animation. So we are getting them back to animation, because animation we have enough projects for the next year and a half, 2 years. So we don't have to worry about that as of now.
Wow. Have deadlines changed? Have timelines shifted for clients, or are they the same?
Yes. Some of them have. Unfortunately, there was no way otherwise to handle this. We have almost lost more than, I think, a couple of months now. So, as I said, clients have been supportive about it. They know the situation. We cannot do work without people. And of course, the main thing also was to keep, as I said, people's safety in mind. And I think so. We have been blunt enough, at least, to tell our clients as well that, no matter what, we are not going to call them to the office. We are going to work on our WFH first to make sure that it is productive enough. So initial days, of course, April has been tough for us as well. Like any other pipeline, WFH for us has started, but it has taken a lot of refinement. It has taken a lot of problem solving and fixing and all that stuff. But now we are through it. So I think so. We are pretty much confident that work from home is going to be, in fact, more productive than even being in offices.
Fantastic. That's a very positive attitude. Now, coming down into the projects. So, what kind of projects have you been working on in animation and in the VFX side? It'll be great to hear about them.
So, in animation side, we have been working on a feature film, which is we are doing the entire assets to animation side of that feature film. The lighting, rendering, compositing is being done in China. So that is entirely out of us. But so far, our job has been to finish animation, and we have been working on that. We are scheduled to finish it in this month, but as I said, we are kind of 2 months delayed by that. But again, we are working on that. So that's one
thing.
So
is this international or domestic?
No, this is international. This is a US Chinese co-production. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that's one. So that's one. We have a couple of high-end good series projects for kids, like preschoolers and 6 to 9 age group from Europe. Those are a couple of projects that we are already working on. On the animation side, then again, we work for India as well. We work for Byju's on their edutainment part. So that is also going on as of now. So these are the animation projects that already are going on. And on the VFX side, we have a couple of projects from Netflix that is already in production. And one is about to start, but I think so we are going to postpone that depending on the capacity and how we basically get our artist on board for that project.
What about international films and international and local local projects?
As I said, Netflix projects are local projects. They are entirely India based. Again, Byju is India for us. Rest of the projects are all international, as I said.
So, I understand. So you had a lot of ambitions on intellectual property, your own IPs. Right. How has that progressed? I mean, there were things like you had Monster Abs, Ambura, Fox and Badger Family.
Right. Continue, please continue.
No. So how beyond that, have you gone further on what your intent was?
So with Monster App and Zambura, we have pretty much pitched it in kids screen as well. So far, we have not been able to do much on that, not much headway on that. But we have so our IP content has been continuously churning out scripts and writing stuff. Doing pre-production and all that stuff. We are almost on the final stages of kind of. It might be a greenlit soon, but a feature film which is going to be more international market, but animation feature film, which is like again Indian director, and we are working on that. But it's in advanced stages as of now. So
Oh,
we are continuing.
congratulations.
Yeah. So we are continuing our work on IP for sure.
Congratulations. So fantastic. I mean, it'll be great to see. Delhi Safari was an interesting project you did many, many years ago when you were with Crayons.
Thank you.
So, is it anyway along those lines or is it different?
No, entirely different. This is entirely different, very new concept. Again, I wouldn't say much about it, but I think so we want to try out different ideas, different treatments, and different look altogether. So nothing similar. No.
Yeah, by the way, what's the view you're having it behind you? Just curious. I can hear the birds chirping. I mean, you're blessed,
Um,
man.
yeah, that's my balcony actually, and this is my place where I normally sit with my laptop. I spend my entire day. So yeah, this is kind of our backside of our building. Yeah.
Fantastic. You are blessed, man.
Thank
You're
you.
really blessed. It gives a sense of serenity, a sense of peace. Now, in terms of the situation around in Pune, how has that
Yeah.
been in terms of have any studios been impacted? Are they do you have any shutdowns? Do you have of people struggling because of this entire lockdown situation? Are there more artists who are looking for jobs because there have been shutdowns?
I mean, overall, I have not heard many good things about things that are happening around in the industry. I mean, I think so. It's like a lot of our industries, like hospitality and airlines and all that. I have seen. I've been seeing on LinkedIn as of now. A lot of layoffs have been going on in VFX. In Pune, I don't know. Again, I don't want to take names, but I think so. Some studios around have been laying off. Our artists have been telling us that there have been layoffs here and there. Uh, but overall, I think so. More and more artists, yes, are approaching us on WFX. So the good side is we intend to go further with our WFH, even if the lockdown is opened and government gives us guidelines. It could be 18th also that we could operate with some capacity in our offices. We are going to strongly continue on WFH. I think so. We have already made a plan which is going to be 4-5 months of WFH. In fact, we are already making plans to recruit more people on WFH, new artists on WFH. At the same time, I think so. I see, at least, it's a good opportunity. We have now the opportunity that we never dreamt of before, that we can work with anybody anywhere in the world with a WFH pipeline. We can collaborate with amazing artists, and that was not possible before. So that's good side. Some studios, as you said, we have helped some studios in resolving their WFH pipeline. I think so the biggest problem that studios are facing is things that we have a lot of times we have taken for granted, like an internet connection or a 24/7 electricity supply in your house. Those are the challenges that in today's world, yes, we are facing. We are having issues that artists don't have electricity, they don't have internet connections, or they don't have a good internet connection. So yeah, on and off, these are the problems that I think the studios are facing in their WFX overall.
Wow, that's saddening that some studios are facing problems. There are studios like Reliance which delivered episodes of Little Singham
Right.
to Discovery on time, etc., which shows the resilience of this animation sector. And I know other studios have also been working hard to make sure that
Right.
they don't let the viewers down. In terms of is there a change in strategy as far as your studio is concerned now, apart from work from home, in terms of what kind of work you'll take on more? Will you take on more animation? Let's keep VFX aside for a while because
Right.
we don't know. So is that the future going ahead?
I think so. We have not changed our strategy as far as what kind of projects we are going to take, because the idea for us is now that I think that we see an opportunity in this. Uh, we no longer need a big office. We don't no longer need a big infrastructure to kind of have a lot of multiple projects of people working on coming in under one roof and working. So that's the best part. So for us, strategy in terms of getting projects has not changed. I think that we are going to work on everything, the same that we have been doing. What has definitely changed for us is how now we see ourselves grow. Uh, we have to be frank, we have canned all our ideas of really expanding our offices, real estate. uh, we feel absolutely comfortable with WFH and how some critical teams are going to be working out of your offices, but apart from those teams, I think so this is a big eye opener. I think so there's a big uh, you know possibilities that have opened for us. We can expand, and we don't need to have, all we need to have is artists who are ready to work from home, who have a good computer and an internet connection. That's it. That's the only criteria we have.
Yeah. Are you also rethinking on your dependency on global markets? Because, the world is today shivering because of the economic downturn that's happening. So being reliant on international market to keep 180 seats occupied consistently when, there's possibility of Turkey is going through a whole lot of problems. You've got Italy, which is struggling. You've got a lot of bailouts to be done in several economies.
Right.
And animation is not something which is at the frontiers for people to pay attention to. So being dependent on international outsourcing projects or co-production projects.
So luckily for us, I think so our transformation into totally being an international studio, like working on international projects, started I think so a couple of years back. So it means we in fact 60% of our work is India, and it's 40% international as of now.
So the VFX work is a major part.
Out of that, VFX is a major part. But yes, even animation, I would still say 30 to 40% is India.
Okay. So, and what is that work?
As I said, we are working on with Byju's for a lot of the edutainment content. We are actively working also now with Choo Choo TV. So that is one part. We have so far not worked for any channels. I think per se, I don't know why it's not happened, but I think either we have not been really pursuing it so much. But combined with our international work, I think so the ratio is, somewhere like almost like 50-50 or 60-40, I would say, for India and international.
But again, that's a very bad skew in a situation like this. Is that going to change? My perception, I may be wrong.
It means it could change, of course. Even I'm not sure about how things are going to pan out. But so far, the clients we have in Europe, so our stronghold has been Europe. It has US has not been actually a stronghold, but seeing how Europe has been affected and talking to our clients, I think so for us, as of now, couple of years, we still don't see an issue as far as our business goes in terms of international deliveries and projects.
Okay, it could happen that you'll have budget cuts. Then what do you do? Because
I think these are already pre-approved.
Pre-audit.
Yeah, they already are approved in a way. I don't see that indication as of now.
Okay, and going forward, do we see until recovery happens? Recovery is a long time moving. You see cuts happening.
I think so. What that is going to happen, because I think so. Everybody. So if we are working from home, there is a lot of fixed cost that is saved in terms of running your offices. And I think so, as our Honorable Prime Minister also said yesterday, that we have to kind of look attractive to the global community as a destination, saying that India is available. I think looking at that part, we should pass on the benefits of certain cost reductions that happen to our clients. And I think so there is definitely going to be, rethinking on the kind of budgets we get.
Okay, so what kind of adjustments do you expect? 30%, 20%?
I see at least a 10%, 10 to 15% correction on that.
Okay, but again, with the fact that there is plenty of supply of artists, do we see a correction in their wages too?
See, so far, I think so, yes. It's a difficult question actually to answer. If I would be an artist, what would I think? And
I definitely don't want my salary to be cut. Forget you.
Exactly.
Up yours.
Exactly. So, I think so. Whoever we recruit new is definitely going to be asked to, be WFH ready and have his own investment in terms of computer and an internet connection. Uh, yes, and there could be certain that, I would say renegotiations on numbers, because if he's working from home, and I think so for how I look at it, he's able to spend more time. He is not commuting. He can be more productive. So I would rather go this way, that based on productivity, I would pay. And we are actually already adopting that method of how to measure artist productivity when he's working from home. Because if an artist is some artists are actually able to spend 10 hours. They are saying, sir, we don't have to commute. We are actually doing nothing. We are getting bored. So at more. So why not pay them more? So I would equate it not like that. I would say that, in the future, I strongly see that people are going to get paid as per their productivity. At least, in WFH for sure.
Okay, and how would you measure that? It's per hour, it's per seconds of footage every day?
But you can measure that for an animator, but how do you measure other departments like HR, and how do you measure things like tech? So I don't have the exact answer. It's great that we a couple of days we have exactly had a meeting on this with my team, and we all are kind of applying our head to have a right way of measuring artist productivity in this situation.
Okay, overall on the animation industry, do you think it needs help? Or the government's yesterday, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced some benefits, which have been highly criticized by many corners. So, as nothing really new to help the MSME sector, which I think you belong to and we belong to.
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. I think so. I like every other MSME, or not only that, every other entrepreneur person who was sitting in front of the television channel yesterday was disappointed. And same way, I think so. Even I was, because I was also expecting a lot more in terms of when 20 lakh crores of you say that fund is going to be available to rebuild India. What has been given is nothing but your own tax money back. What has been given is you pay salaries and you take a loan. I don't think so. That's the idea of saying that you are giving relief package to the industry or the MSME sector. I think so. Yes, I would absolutely would want to see more than this. I think so. As we are having this call, there is another session happening with our finance minister as we speak. But today, unfortunately, I don't see much of MSME news happening. But I would want to see some more help coming from the state government, not only central, but things like, even if government can assure us 24/7 electricity supply, giving us making sure that internet reaches every home, or things like the new India that we are talking about. The new normal is going to be that WFH is here to stay. So why not work towards that? Means giving a relief package. Yes, it can restart an economy, but I think we need to also see long term. What are the big things that we really need to do to get on the next level? And I think so. Every IT I think a lot of industries are going to adapt to WFH.
I get it. Yeah, but he said you have to be self-reliant, and that's what he meant. The package is it's being designed to make you self-reliant, so you don't rely on the government.
And how is that? I would also want to ask that.
Yeah, but
how are we going to be self-reliant with this package? I don't think so.
You have to do leave the package and be self-reliant.
Well, I don't know how to answer that. I really don't know how to answer that.
So, there's a joke doing the rounds in industry that, the government has done its part as far as preparing the country for COVID is concerned. Now, it's up to the people for themselves to be self-reliant. That means do the right things.
Yeah, but that's
the pure message.
Doing for
not really. If you come out on the streets today, you'll see it's almost like a Sunday in Bombay. There's so much traffic on the streets. There's so many people on the streets, and sometimes I think there's a feeling of we are a karmic country, I think most Indians have accepted that it's a karma. What must be, must be. The number of people not wearing masks is something which is astonishing. So in your studio, what are you doing in terms of whoever's going to the office, the sanitization, the taking care of your employees? Let's say if you have a lot of people working from home, when you start again, how will you function over there? Will you be doing a lot of sanitation every day with sodium hypochlorite? Would you be having masks? Would you be having sanitizers?
See, we have already procured a lot of that material. I think so. We were expecting every lockdown that has been extended. We have kept ourselves ready that some or the other way, some capacities might open up. So we have, of course, we have made a lot of mandatory things around our office, which is masks are compulsory. You have to sanitize yourself before you enter. You have to have your own vehicles. No public transportation will be allowed. People who are traveling by public transportation can stay home and work from home. People who are productive, people who are able to work from home, do not need to risk themselves by traveling. And we have absolutely said no. That stay home and go be on the WFH. That's better than you coming here. So that those are the few measures. Of course, we are disinfecting the whole office before we start. That's the plan. We are going to run our offices mostly in 2 shifts so that we have very few people in the office at one time. And between those 2 shifts, we are again going to disinfect all our workstations and all that. Apart from that, no more tea, no cups, nothing is going to be allowed in the office. You have to get your own food, you have to get your own water bottles, and all that stuff is already implemented as per the guidelines.
So they get the thermos flask with tea?
As of now, they haven't, because nobody has joined back. But
no, but I'm saying they'll have to get the thermos flask with tea. That's something.
Yes, they will.
Rather than us, yeah. So because there's a fear in many employers' minds that they don't want to be responsible if anything happens to their employees, because so maybe some of the office staff, the cleaning staff, might be coming from a location where they are, they may have caught it, but they're asymptomatic, and they're coming in, and you don't know. So thermometers, temperature measurement.
Exactly. So we have exactly.
But if you're asymptomatic, your thermometer will not work.
So, but see, I think so. We can't fear the virus forever. I think so, Anil. We have to understand the fact that this virus is here to stay. We have to take every precaution possible. But I don't think so. I think so, we cannot stop our way of living life. Yes, we can adhere to new ways of living. That is going to be social distancing. That is going to be wearing a mask, and we should. I definitely support that, because jitna ho sakta hai probability you have to take it. But we have to finally start our economy. We have to start our offices. So my, again, message to everybody, and even we following the same practices in our offices, that stay home. Again, stay home if you are able to work. We are not going to invite anybody. As I said, for the next 5 months, we are working from home. We have told all our employees that if you are good, you are comfortable on the work from home pipeline, please do not show up at the office. It's be safe, be home. And those who are really struggling on their WFH, again, as I said, we have a 180 people studio. I don't think so we are going to have more than 15 to 20 people in one shift. And that too, we are going to have maybe meters of distance between one person to the other now. So those are the things we are definitely looking at.
But then if you have a technical supervisor having to give direction, how do you manage that? It'll be via TeamViewer, by chat,
by chat, by Zoom meetings internally. That is absolutely given.
Even if they're in the same office.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that is the norm. I think so. We have already started practicing a lot of all that. So if you see, me and Arpan have not met each other since, I think, a couple of months. We have met once. Otherwise, all the meetings are Zoom. All the meetings are Google Meet. We have had our business accounts. In fact, all 180 people have a business account on Google Meet. So we are doing absolutely all our meetings on that, and we'll continue to do so, I think.
Okay, do you think this has put a stop to creativity, this lockdown, and the animators, because fear is playing such a large part in our minds? Or do you think the artist in you is still alive?
I think we all love doing what we do. So for me, I think so, yes, it's a difficult change. I think the change is always difficult. It's like even if I introduce a new software, so I'm technical, I would relate to that. That is always, kind of that rebel comes in an artist that I don't want to try something new. But once he, kind of starts seeing his creativity, his productivity in that, I think so he automatically adjusts himself. So I think so for me also, it has been a struggle working from home, or I'm assuming the same goes for every artist. For me, it's too early to say, it's very subjective, but yeah, means some artists could be really finding it difficult in terms of creativity and kind of giving a productive output as far as animation goes.
So work from home is something where this pandemic has taught you, this lockdown has taught you. What else have you learned that you can take away from this?
I think so. For me, it has been best part is that of course I'm spending a lot of time with my family, so that I've never spent so much time. So that's
Are
a
they
good
happy
sign.
about that? Are they happy about that?
My wife is not so happy about it at times, but yeah. But yeah, my kid is, of course, he's a 4-year-old. So of course, for him, it's been the best time being with his father, and spending 2 months actually by now. So I would see it as that. I am seeing artists are happy. Actually, that's what we have learned from this. That uh, uh, these kind of pandemics might happen in the future as well. We don't know. Again, world is becoming more weirder by the day. Uh, I think though we have to stay strong. I think though it has really taught us teamwork. We all as a team have really stood together, and we're so proud of my team at Film CGI that so far not a single resignation, nothing. We have all understood each other, spoken to each other, uh, tried to obviously motivate. So that has been a great side from here, from learning out of this. Uh, we have learned new ways of communicating. Exactly this webinar. So there's one way. So Zoom meetings have been the new normal. Zoom, Google Meet, and all that. So again, we realize that we really don't have to travel. We really can do a lot of communication now with sitting in your houses. So that, and being productive, in fact. So that is another learning, that avoid meetings as much as possible, avoid going to Bombay or whatever. So even if everything opens, I don't think so I'm going to travel so much. I'm going to, if possible, I'm going to ask for a virtual meet and discuss the same over that. So that is going to change. Lot more traveling is going to be absolutely necessity traveling. Uh, yeah, so I think so. These are few
No,
learnings for me.
what about no international travel for a while? So business development, how do you see that happening?
That is going to be difficult. Frankly, I don't know the answer for that. So far, I think so. We have been fortunate that we have worked for a couple of years, but we are discussing that. As I think so, me and Arpan, as you see, I think so. Even NIFA, for that matter, has been it's not happening, and I know is the October event going to happen. So
No, no, it's
uh,
happening. I can assure you, MIPCOM is
yeah, it
happening.
is MIPCOM.
Well, as
Yeah.
we are planning to have MIPCOM, I'm signing up people. We've signed up some of the large clients. The effort is to make it happen. We have a very
But
good refund policy.
I don't know whether we will travel or not. That fear of traveling internationally, and uh, that's something that
No,
is
you'll have a
causing
quarantine of
concern
two
for that.
weeks. That's the only thing. You'll have a quarantine of 2 weeks.
Well, do you want to go through that? So that's the
That's
other
a
question.
Yeah, hopefully, we're hoping that the world starts turning on its head by sometime in August, September, and October. Things are
But
slightly in more normalcy.
I'm seeing a lot of virtual markets cropping up. I think so that could be also the way to go. Of course, as I said, I don't see a problem of BD as far as VFX is concerned, because there is so much of work that has been stalled and waiting to restart that uh, I don't think so we'll need a BD over there. But of course, looking at animation, yeah, I really don't have an answer as of today for that.
Hmm.
How are we going to solve that? But as you said, yes, MIPCOM is happening. So
Yeah, as of now,
maybe. So that's good news.
yeah. So I had a call with the team in Paris the other day, and they said that it's very much happening, and they're striving. We've almost got about 70% of our exhibitors' contracts in. So the exhibitors are there. We've got a few 35% to be signed up, but that will happen. It's very early. We are hardly in May, and It's immediately after MIP TV, which did not happen. So in that sense, it's so anyway. What has kept you busy apart from restructuring, re-strategizing meetings? What else has kept you busy? What have you been reading? What have you been? Or have you gone and done any of your hobbies?
I'm not much of a reader at all. In fact, my wife is, she's a huge reader. So I have my share of books in my bedroom, but she reads it. For me, I think so. It has been mostly looking at tons of movies. I'm enjoying my Netflix, Amazon Prime, Z5. I've subscribed to everything possible that is there. So I'm seeing the kind of shows that are coming up. It's quite exciting to see what new content is coming up. That's one thing. Of course, my kid, since he is home and I'm home, we are also doing this homeschooling kind of a thing for him. So that's kept me busy as well. Not much of hobbies as of now. I've not been able to give much time to that. Number of reasons, of course, because my house is under renovation, my own house. So a lot of that has kept me out of my hobbies as of now.
Nothing. I mean, so there's no. Golf is out, so you don't play golf either. You can't go and golf is not allowed.
I know. My biggest thing is running. I love running, so I have continued that part. I run in the building, premise itself. So I do my share of some kilometers of running daily and gymming on and off as I can. So yeah, that's one thing that has really kept going for me on that.
Okay, coming back again to the serious side of what we are here to talk about also, apart from personal. So what happens if some governments like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, I think, have started opening up production, both live as well as they've allowed offices to open. So do you think that's going to be a disadvantages to you as far as getting projects is concerned? Because you're still doing WFH and you want to continue WFH, but over there, they'll have teams in offices, maybe with restrictions. So do you think you'd like Maharashtra government to also quickly open up, start the opening up process of that we can start working?
I think so. For Maharashtra, I would say our situation is a bit different than other states. Our numbers are very bad in terms of COVID. I would put safety first as of now. Again, there are two parts to this answer to this question. So first, as you said, what does it affect us? I don't think so. It affects us because it's good that Kerala and some of the states have had very low number and they can start. Finally, economy has to start. So if some people are working, it's great. But one thing so I was talking to one of my clients yesterday from Chennai, and surprisingly, they are allowed to work from office 33% of their capacity, but nobody is coming to office. Now, that is because, of course, we can say that we are opening up, but if we are not going to make our roads, our transportation safer, I don't think so anybody is going to venture out. So that fear is still there. So I would say opening up Maharashtra, I don't think so it is going to help. I think we need to look at things like, as I said earlier, things that make us stronger on the WF side. If Maharashtra government can give some better facilities in terms of internet connections, they can have essential things that keep our WFH running, like electricity 24/7 guarantee. All those can help. I think so that will really help us. But starting offices for Mumbai is I would not absolutely go by that, or Pune as well.
For how long?
For sure. I think I really don't have that answer because, as I said, economy has to start. We have to live with a new normal. But I would say till the time, as you mentioned this answer in your in one of your talks, that we should at least be able to maintain social distancing. We should be self-responsible. Government can open up a state and say, okay, go and work. But what about people? I think so. We need to really have there is a lot of confusion on the road. Even if today, who will give me an answer that, okay, you can go. There is some who will tell me, no, you have to go back home. So there are a lot of confusion, at least in our state, what I see. Karnataka, I think so, has been the most organized, if what I've heard about. But I think we need more of that. We need more kind of one-line communication from the government telling us what to do. Rather, we
Okay.
can open up our offices. We wouldn't mind, but as far as if we can say that yes, public transportation is not going to be allowed. We people are compulsory to take private transportation. All those should be clearly mentioned in the guidelines. We need to have a strict guideline as far as opening.
They won't be followed. Policing is a challenge. The cops are falling sick. This morning I was speaking to a doctor. He told me that the doctors are falling sick in hospital. Who's going to look after the doctors? The nurses are falling sick. Beds are not available. I had one of my, at least within my close circle, I've had one of my employees' aunts dying of COVID. Another case on another employee's mother is in hospital and a brother is under quarantine in a hotel. And they're from good families. They're not that they're from small little slums or something. So the challenge is it's becoming a reality, and it's going to become even more of a reality as we go along. We've got to live with it. We've got to, like you said, maintain social distancing. And what are the other challenges you foresee? Apart from, is it going to be cash flow challenges because of the pandemic? Is it going to be people are working from home? So what? Great, everything's all right. But what do you think what are the other challenges which have come on account of the pandemic?
The biggest challenge is going to be coming back to normalcy. I think so. The definition of normalcy is going to change, and accepting that is going to be a big challenge. Cash flows. If you see financially, yes, there are certain things we are confidently saying, we are doing good WFH. We have established a good way of working from home. We definitely still are yet not sure productivity. We are that productive output that we talk about, billable output. We are going to see that in the coming months. And for me, I think so at least this quarter, that is April, May and June, is a challenge on cash flows. But it's nothing that is not solvable. I think so. The idea here is to take a small hit, but at least, survive this period. That's how we are doing it. But yeah, that's a bigger challenge, in fact. Surviving this period. I think so post immaterial of a vaccine coming out or not. Again, as I said, the new normal is going to be very different. We also are waiting that, how cash flows can be resumed back to normal, how we can, obviously come back to normal salary. But I can hear from other industries. So I have some friends in retail. They are talking about almost this entire year, writing the entire year off. For cinemas, I don't think so that is going to start anytime before September, October. Even if it starts, I don't know, again, the new norm of social distancing, how are you going to sit? It's so vague right now. I think so our industry is blessed. Still, I would say that we are able to work from home. So our challenges are a bit less. I would say, as you said, Reliance has been able to... I'm sorry, there is a train noise right behind.
Fantastic. So how blessed you are. Trains are running, which is fantastic. It could be a goods train. It could be one of the few passenger trains taking people back to their cities, their villages, not cities.
I hope so.
Yeah. Sounded more like a goods train, though.
Yeah, it is a goods train.
Not as much. Yeah. Continue. You were talking about Reliance.
So imagine how Reliance has been able to deliver. So I think so. Every studio will one way or the other find this balance of working from home and productive and cash flows and all that will settle. I think the bigger concern is not for our industry. The bigger concern is for industries that are absolutely doing nothing. Mm-hmm. From every end, from layoff perspective, from survival perspective, everything. But for us, I think so we are doing good.
So do you have a scenario where you'll be producing directly for digital? Forget the television channels, they're in a bad way. Would you be producing directly for series? Do you see that scenario?
Definitely. We are already, as I said, we are pitching one show directly to the digital platform. And that's what I said about a feature film. Now, if that works out, I think that we are going to be directly producing for them.
Great. Fantastic. So, we are doing the 40 under 40.
Yeah.
40 different professionals. You look like you're 28.
No, I'm not. Don't lie. Come on, now you are joking.
Yeah. So
no, I already got this message from your team. I'm 41. I just missed out.
you can lie, can't you?
Well, I think so. My wife is our company's PR, and she has already spilled the beans there. She has just told everybody by now.
I was kidding. Of course, we disqualify you.
Yeah.
So, how old is Arpan?
Arpan is 44.
He's older.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where the company is in the right track. Huh? That's meant to be a joke. Okay, don't take it seriously.
No, it is true. It is true. He is quite a thinker that way. Yeah. But
fantastic.
But we don't. So we will I think so. It's about the younger people. I think so. We definitely have some contenders which are going to be there in that list from our office.
Fantastic. So look forward to having a lot of entries. Any questions you'd like to ask me? This is the other way around.
I know. I would have been seeing the constant webinar. I think so. The frequency of your webinars has does increase. So I wanted to ask you exactly now. How do you see journalism and PR, the industry that you represent going forward?
I actually represent. I'm more than just a journalist. While I began as a journalist, I moved on to being an entrepreneur. So I view things differently compared to what a journalist would be looking in a story. For me, it's about helping the ecosystem go forward. That's why we set up Animation Express. That's why we set up IndianTelevision.com. It was meant to be an enabler platform for the whole ecosystem, whether it's television, whether it's animation, VFX, whether it's games, etc. That's where comes the MIPCOM representation. That's why ATF. That's why being a part of the Emmys and encouraging Indians to watch international shows from 2003. That's why setting up the Indian Tele Awards, which started in 2001. Then starting the Ann Awards last year, doing the Kids Animation and More Summit. So, as far as my journal, so I'm running the business more while I'm at heart, I'm a journalist. My soul is in journalism. My heart is in business. So that's where you combine together and you do the journalism, business journalism. I'm doing. So I see, work from home also becoming a little more accessible as far as our industry is concerned. So in the 90s, I was working from home for almost 6 years. Working for international publications before I started Indian Television and Animation Express. So for me, it's an old, 6 years I was working. And as far as it now is going forward, I see, I see the work from home continuing. When we begin our offices, I was thinking of opening them next week. But then, there's still a bit of a fear that, do I want to be responsible if somebody gets affected? I do definitely, that is holding me back. If I'm sure that things are easing off and the cases are falling rather than rising, then maybe I'll take a decision. I need to see that flattening and going downwards. I'll start the office. Yeah. I prefer, when it's going downwards. So work from home is continuing. We've been working from home and we've had our challenges in terms of some of the journalists have had problems with Wi-Fi. They've had, and there's nobody available to come and repair the Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but then we find our ways around it, and there's also the sense of being alone. In a journalistic environment, you always have teams around you. We've been having a lot of Zoom. We've been calling, chatting, WhatsApp, Zoom meetings. They've been doing webinars. So for me, it's been very fulfilling talking to people like you, getting feedback from people like you, understanding your situation. My first one that I watched was Uday Shankar's, where he talked to Ronnie Screwvala, and that was a real eye opener because I've been telling that to my team. My team was looking at me as I was I was exaggerating. They really looked at me as I was, trying to make a fool of them. But then because I told them this is not going to get over soon, it's here for the long haul. So they didn't believe me, and now they tell me you were right. This is something, and it's going to have a real serious impact. When I shut down the offices in March, by the 11th or 12th of March, we shut down our offices. So now they're realizing it's true. For us, it's a learning on how to work from a distance and yet be as productive, how to be disciplined, because it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to slack off. And there are some people who will slack off, but then you've got to haul them up and make them work. So it's all about managing rightly with the right leaders. So, I'm getting some questions coming from the audience. So, there is gaming. You want to talk about gaming before we sign off? Because that's
Yeah.
really surging.
I mean, I am not much a gamer, but and I really have limited information and exposure to that, but I don't mind. Whatever
Yeah,
I know.
so in terms of how do you see the potential as compared to animation and visual effects for gaming in this scenario? I believe I spoke to the Paytm head of Paytm first. I spoke to him, or first Paytm. I spoke to the head of that the business, and he told me he's seen almost 7x increases in terms of traffic.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It's absolutely true. Same goes for OTT. I think so. Everybody is home. Everybody wants some or the other. I mean, what are you going to do 24/7 sitting home? Yeah, 8 hours gone in sleep, 6 to 8 hours on and off work. Post after that, what? So I think the content is being consumed in different ways, and digital gaming, absolutely. Gaming is going to grow exponentially in this scenario, and it's going to be even in, I think the next 5 to 10 years are absolutely fantastic for gaming.
Great.
More
Another
and more
question,
kids are again Japan. I'm sorry to cut you, but yeah, Japan is a good example. Japan, China. So India is on a growing curve for gaming. So yeah, it's absolutely.
So there's questions coming on animation from the audience. One of them which is coming up is that, do you think there'll be more animated series coming on OTT because they don't require physical presence on shoots where you have, there'll be limitations in shoots. You can't have more than 2 people on the floor as per the norms. So do you think they'll resort more to motion cap, mocap kind of films where, you can have 2 people, you can then multiply the, using VFX. And do you see a lot more animation series being commissioned by OTTs?
Yes. Yes to a lot of other things as well. Animation, perfect example is we are already. I know that some of the OTT platforms have already started talking about what can we do in animation, because live action is stopped entirely, the shooting. So that is the answer is yes. A lot more stuff is going to happen in animation on OTT. The other part is also that a lot of stuff is also going to happen on VFX, that people are not going to shoot in in big locations, crowded locations, where obviously there are more chances of you getting infected. A lot more green screen shoots are going to happen. Controlled environment shoots are going to happen. That is going to be also the exponentially going to increase. So VFX is going to increase for sure as well.
Okay. So that's going to be a good opportunity if you look at local projects.
Yes.
Going forward in the next 6 to 9 months.
Absolutely. A lot more productions are going to be based out of green screen and all that stuff.
Okay. Animation industry 3 years down the line?
For us, I think India, I mean, I am very bullish about India on the media entertainment. So I absolutely see the next 10 years to be fantastic. Not only 3 years. The next 10 years are going to be great for service work, great for your own content. More 5G is already, started rolling out. Internet is more and more better internet speeds are coming up. So yeah, it's going to be better.
So give us a picture. Do you see a studio which is delivering work directly to a pipeline for the global audiences to Netflix, which if it's there, I should be there, yeah.
Or it's already there. Amazon I think Prime. So we are already doing that. We are already doing that.
Okay.
With a lot of shows that are already gone international. In fact, I think so there'll be a good blend of interactive content, edutainment. You talk about YouTube platform having full-scale feature films to all that has started. So I think so. We are going to have so good platforms. I think so. A lot of studios are going to go IP driven. IP driven is going to be. I think it started. This wave started 4 or 5 years back, and it's going to get stronger.
Okay, your favorite animated character? This is a rapid fire round.
WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Yeah.
Your most unfavorite animated character?
Shrek.
Shrek. You don't like Shrek at all?
No.
Okay. Your favorite animated movie?
The one with the blue sky, the first one. I forgot the name. I'm so sorry. I can't remember the name. The
Okay.
first movie of Blue Sky Studios.
I'm getting old. So I'm much older than you. So I'm
Same
allowed
here,
to
but
forget. Not you. You're 41.
I'm so sorry. I'm bad with names. I can't remember the name. But I
Okay.
think the people must have already known by now what I'm
Sure.
hinting. But yeah,
You're,
still, we can't recollect the name.
okay. The one movie which you most like the VFX of?
Harry Potter.
Okay.
The both the last part, that is the finale. I just watched them yesterday again. So yeah, that's fresh.
Fantastic. And in the Indian scenario?
I mean, it cliched, but yeah, Bahubali, I really loved it. Amazing VFX for breathtaking. Nothing better has happened to Indian VFX than Bahubali, and now I think so. More and more better films are coming up. So yeah.
Your favorite comic character?
Supandi.
Supandi.
Hmm.
And your least favorite
Yeah.
comic character? Your least favorite comic character?
I really haven't thought like that, but I don't know. I don't hate a character as such. I don't know. I don't have a least favorite one. Maybe Supandi and Sambhu Shikari were the two favorites that I've always liked, but I really can't give an answer to that.
Your favorite comic?
Twinkle, as I said, I had
Twinkle
loads
comics.
of them. Loads of them in my childhood. I love.
Not Phantom, not Phantom, not.
No. But I didn't have money to buy Phantom and all. I had some Twinkle comics that were accessible to me, of course. So yeah.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of Japanese anime?
No. I don't. I'm not fond of Japanese anime.
Your favorite animation professional in the country?
I beg your pardon?
Your favorite animation professional in the country?
I would say Weber from Weber Kumari.
Yes. Your least favorite animation professional in the country? You and I know who it is, but you might not name him.
You know who? I wouldn't. I don't know. I really.
We were discussing about that in Bangalore.
You're putting me in a difficult.
I know.
I'll answer that.
Okay.
I don't want to be so public about it.
I know. Now, if you were to escape into a world of fantasy, which one would you?
World of fantasy, as in I still don't get the question.
The question is, we've had so many universes. We've had the Marvel universe, we had the DC universe, we had the Disney. So we had the Disney. So your favorite fantasy world? It could be maybe not a very popular one. I'm reading a few. There's a Game of Thrones universe, the fantasy world of Game of Thrones. There's the Vikings. There's all those.
I love I've always been. It's been so many years. I've always loved the Lord of the Rings world. That's been my favorite. Yeah.
Fantastic. The person you like to watch an animated movie with?
My wife. It's good fun.
Animated movie. I thought romantic would work better.
No. We are very different individuals. But the best part is I love her reactions in animation.
What about your son?
He's. I think so. As of now, he's not. We showed him a couple of animation features. The problem is with a 4-year-old, his attention span is very less. So he gets bored in 10 minutes. He loves watching shorter animation episodes like Pocoyo and all that stuff. But yeah, not animation movies.
Okay, your favorite nursery rhyme?
Nursery rhyme? God.
You must be saying that to your kid now. That's why we are going in that direction. It's lighter.
Baby shark do. I don't know why. That's not a nursery rhyme. That's a song that my kids sing. Yeah, I have been addicted to it. I don't know why, but yeah.
That's fun. Anyway, it's been fun chatting with you. Thanks for being such a sport.
Thank you.
A big round of applause to you. I think it was a very different kind of feedback.
Again.
It's been wonderful having chats, fireside chats, and more power to you. Let this industry prosper. Let us all prosper. And have a great evening.
Thank you so much. I wish all a safe, stay home, stay safe, keep social distancing. Don't go and buy alcohol, please. I don't know why.
But it's coming to your door now. In Maharashtra, it's coming to your door.
Good. Why did they open it?
They should have never shut it because in France, it's been open all along.
God, but that's the worst part that has happened. But anyways, I advise everybody stay home, stay safe, and prosper.
We advise everybody. Thank you very much, and give my best to Arpan and the team, and lots of success to you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Anil.
Thank you very much, all the viewers also.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.